Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this presentation. The title of the presentation has changed throughout the last few days. It's basically called How to Make HTML5 E-Learning That Really Rocks. It was originally called How to Make HTML5 E-Learning That Looks Like Flash. But it's not really a technical presentation. This is a presentation about how we can create HTML5, use this new technology, and make something that's really nice, really effective, and makes really good e-learning. It's a little confession. I was in hospital last week, so I'm sharing presentation duties in order to get a bit of a rest with a virtual version of myself.
Hello, my name is Emil Reisser-Weston. I'm the Managing Director of eLearning WMB. This presentation is all about HTML5, why we need to consider producing it, what is possible when we talk about HTML5, and what you need to consider about creating learning content in this format.
Okay, just briefly talk about the presentation. This presentation, like all our presentations, are written using our own authoring system, Jackdaw Cloud. It's the same environment in which we produce our e-learning. So in looking at this, this presentation, you're really reviewing the look and feel of the e-learning that we create. We've been doing this for about 10 years now, and we're still yet to see anyone else do a presentation in anything other than PowerPoint. Now, that doesn't mean we haven't seen every single presentation. I'm sure there's other stuff out there, but it's a very similar skill set used for doing a presentation as to doing e-learning. So you can read into that what we will. But this presentation is written using Jackdaw Cloud.
This presentation can be seen in Flash, HTML5, and as an app. And it will look pretty much identical in all three formats. All versions have been made as one process, then exported from the same source files into one of these three different formats at the press of a button.
Yes, so this presentation is also available on our website as well as an e-learning program, just to give you an idea of how flexible the system is. Should have turned off Skype. Okay, so summary of the presentation. What am I going to talk to you about today? First of all, I'm going to talk about why are we considering HTML5 in the first place, and why is now in particular the time we have to start considering moving to HTML5. There's been many false dawns for HTML5 and mobile, but this is really the time now we have to seriously get rid of all our Flash content and replace it with HTML5. And I'll go through why that is so necessary. Also, I talked about how do you make HTML5 e-learning in the future? How are we going to use this technology and not go backwards but go forwards? Not take a sideways step, take a forward step. Do something that's really new, fresh and exciting using this new technology. And also from a practical standpoint, I'm going to go through what you need to ask your current supplier about migration. What are their plans about moving to HTML5 and what you need to consider when selecting your new HTML5 e-learning solution.
The first thing that we need to look at is why do we need to consider HTML5 in the first place? Well, it has been looming over the e-learning industry for several years now. From the advent of the iPhone and Apple dropping the e-learning favoured Flash plugin, it has meant that HTML5 has always been the next big thing for quite a few years now.
Okay, so why is HTML the nirvana that we've all been led to believe? Well, the idea is that it can run on any device. You can build a course once, and it can run on a laptop, a computer, a tablet, or mobile phone. The same set of code works on all these separate devices. Now, that begs the question is, why is HTML5 not prevalent in all our devices? Why has it been so far underwhelming user experience? Now, HTML5 here is it's an HTML5 web course running in an app, in an app's mobile environment, a mobile browser. However, this is not the way other industries do this. If we look at around different industries, let's see how they use the mobile environment to produce their own applications. Now, as far as I know, apart from e-learning, the only other app that can be found that is workable in a browser interface in a mobile device is search. So you pick up your mobile phone. What do you do with the browser? You search with it. Everything else is apps. So, for instance, if you want to look for a property, You go to the Rightmove website, it directs you to download the Rightmove app. If you want to look at some media, BBC iPlayer, Netflix, you don't go to the BBC iPlayer website in your browser like you would do on a computer. You download the app. Similarly, if you want to sell all your worldly possessions, again, you don't go on the eBay website, you download the eBay app. Now, the question we have to ask ourselves is, why is this? Why is it not? Why aren't all these other industries using the mobile browser? Why are they creating apps for this very purpose? This is a question we asked ourselves several years ago, and that's what brought the implementation of mobile apps for learning. Now, the advantage of mobile apps for learning is you can have exactly the same user experience on a computer as you can on a mobile device. Users are used to accessing data in this way, so they basically can download the app and run the course in the app. Since all the content is stored in the apps, there's no need to stream data, so you can have really rich media content inside the apps themselves. You don't have to wait to download information. It's all there for you. Okay, so why HTML nice? So we've seen that apps is the best way of running e-learning on a mobile device. So why are we still interested in HTML5? Why do we still need to consider HTML5, and why do we consider it now? Now, if we look at various applications in industry, we can see Microsoft led the way. Microsoft Surface Tablet now no longer runs the Flash plugin. One of our largest clients, Unilever, as of a couple of months ago, all their top directors are implementing Surface tablets, and none of them work with Flash. So all as far as they know is our e-learning doesn't work. So we have to fix that. So we implement an HTML5 version of our courses for them. Google Chrome. The rumor is September, October this year, it will start phasing out elements of Flash. Firefox, similarly, and Amazon's website, Amazon Prime, has already stopped Flash elements on its website. So you can see industry has already started that move, and is making that move and planning that move away from Flash. So if you're running Flash e-learning, you have to start thinking about migrating it now, not when it happens. So what would happen if we were to do nothing? What would happen if we were just to let our e-learning sit as it were, if we weren't converting it to Flash? Well, for starters, the home users would have problems. They don't have a standard build, it's not controlled by IT. They would download the latest versions of the browser interface, the Windows interface, etc., and they would start having problems. And as I say, all they'd be concerned is their e-learning is not working, which looks bad on you, looks bad on the developer, looks bad on everyone. And it will lose their trust and faith in the e-learning. So as I say, we need to be prepared. We need to start making plans now for moving to this new HTML5 format.
Now, there are many ways to make HTML5 web content. And what I'm going to show you first is not, and I have to stress not, the way we at eLearning WB believe e-learning should be made. Then we're going to get on to show you the third way, the way we develop e-learning. But more of this later.
Okay, so there's three ways we've identified of developing e-learning in HTML5, and I will go through those one by one. Firstly, the scrollable content model. Here we can see we've got a mock-up of it. It's essentially a web page. It's as if an e-learning developer said to an HTML5 programmer, make me e-learning, but do the least work possible in creating it. And it's a web page. Now there's a reason why we have not been producing our e-learning as web pages over the last 15 years. The fact is it's low on immersion. It doesn't involve you in the content. You're not walking through a building and learning from the people there. You're not interacting with it. It's a web page. Just to give you an example, if we were to, it's analogous to inducting people to our company. We would just say, there's the web page of our company, see you on Monday. In contrast to this, what we could do is we could do a virtual tour of the building. We could introduce them to all the major people working inside the building, and they could meet and greet them, and interact with objects, open books, and it's a far more effective way of doing induction than just reading content. And that's analogous to the way that that HTML5 learning is created. The second way is the good old PowerPoint style presentation methodology. So here we have a stock image, bullet points, previous, next button. It looks like a PowerPoint. Now what's wrong with this, you may ask? Essentially it's dull. Now, dull is fine, but we find that if it's dull, it turns people off. You have to keep people's attention, which I'm trying to do at the moment. You have to keep people's attention. You have to make things exciting and engaging, interactive, and not dull. And you don't want the user to get so frustrated that they give up altogether with the learning. You've got to keep it fresh, looking different, and something that's salient, sticks in your mind so you can remember that information better. You don't need to be a cognitive psychologist like myself to know that making stuff that looks, after the 26th page of identical PowerPoint presentation style e-learning, you are going to give up hope. And you know, the next button pressing is going to start. If we have a look at a recent CIPD e-learning study in 2016, they found that in implementing e-learning, 3 out of every 9 employees would carry out the e-learning on an average course, and of those, only 1 person would complete the training. So we're looking at 1 in 9 people successfully completing e-learning. Now, why is that the case? I think we have to seriously, as an industry, look at that and see how we can improve that level of engagement, that level of retention in our learning. Okay, so how do we make HTML5 learning of the future? How do we propose it? Okay, we use a system, our own system called Jackdaw Cloud. We produced our own system, our own authoring system for producing e-learning, because there wasn't anything on the market that produced e-learning the way we thought it should be built. Now, it's a cloud-based system. You don't need to download software. You can select templates, put images in there, video, interaction, and you'll list of templates, things from books that turn pages and blocks that fall from the sky. So it's all very whiz-bangy, it's all very quick to do, very ergonomic, very user-friendly. As a result of using this tool, we have...
Welcome to the Jackal Cloud. It is one of Erkman Collection's masterpiece hotels, which gives you access to one of the busiest, most energetically creative cities in the world.
Okay, this is an example of a presentation style of e-learning we've done. We've got, you probably can't see it, but the background's animated, the water ripples and birds fly around, and we've got an animated object in there. But you can see that we're just trying to create something a bit more engaging.
Immersion in the content is vital when you want to show people how to do something that needs to be applied to their own place of work. In this example we did for Unilever, you can see how the user can follow the instruction, applying what they have learnt directly to their workstation in a just-in-time basis. There is actually almost no need to learn the content. Now let's look at the positioning of your monitor. Your monitor should be positioned directly in front of you and not at an angle. Check that your monitor or monitors are approximately an arm's length away. Stretch your hand forward in your natural seating posture, and you should just touch the screen. So are you now able to adjust both the height and distance of the monitor correctly?
So this course will take you through setting up a workstation ergonomically. Now, I don't want to, this has all been very presentation style-y of this. I don't want you to get the idea that what we're doing is just presentation. We're a lot more interactive than that.
Here's another example with comedian David Schneider, showing you how we can create virtual learning environments.
The great thing about that lot is that we've developed our own software, which makes it very easy to produce e-learning with video presenters and virtual learning worlds. Oh.
Our software makes it very easy to put courses together. Tasks such as changing the e-learning environment can be done in seconds. This means we can produce better, more relevant training, but also we can do it at a lower cost than the competition. A lower cost, yeah? Oh, and you can change the environment as many times as you like.
So e-learning can be fun. You can smile if you like this. That's okay. Okay, sorry. I actually said what I meant to say previously. what I've shown you so far is very presentational style, but here we've got some examples of some more interactive elements. So here we've got blocks that fall from the sky, elements you can click on, pathways, quizzes, all the standard stuff you get in e-learning is also in this. But it also has this interactive video look and feel, this engagement, which is really cool. The question we need to ask ourselves is, at the end of the day, does this work? Now, the figure I always quote is 98%. We've done 2 studies recently, independent studies by the largest housing provider in the UK, which I'm sure, David, you know. And they both came up with a figure of 98%. So they asked the question, do you find this form of e-learning effective? And 98% of people, out of 250 people, said yes. And no one answered negatively. So just to give you an idea, people like this form of e-learning. It's really engaging. We did a course with the Home Office relatively recently, and 97% of those people completed the e-learning in 3 weeks. So people want to do it. It's nice. It looks fun. It's good, and it's a very effective way of training as well. And all this is available in an app form, as HTML5, in Flash. And we developed one course. It's exported to all these formats. Now you might think it looks pricey, the good news is, of course, I'm going to say, it's not. We use a lot of this is templated. A lot of this work builds on work we've done before. The authoring system we use, which is commercially available, you can even use it yourself to produce courses. So it's very rapid, very quick. Yes, sir. The authoring system is called Jackdaw. Sorry, there was also what is the authoring system? It's called Jackdaw Cloud. It's a cloud-based authoring system. It's our own platform. Yes, sorry, it is our own platform. We created it ourselves. The reason why we created it is because we wanted to produce this type of e-learning, and we couldn't with existing tools out there. So we're going for 10 years, and it's been constantly improved in line with technology. So using Jackdaw Cloud, you can export content to Flash, you can export it to HTML5, and as an app, be it an Android or an iOS app, which can be run online or offline. Okay, so I'll summarize now, and thank you very much for taking the time. HTML5 is coming. We are going to be dropping Flash in about 6 months' time completely, and the technology is being phased out. There's no getting around it. It's had a good run. It's been brilliant. It's very good at what it does, but browsers are going to drop it, and that's the death knell for Flash. When moving to HTML5, you've got 2 options. You can either choose to go sideways, or go backwards, or go forwards. So have a look at the e-learning and see where you want to go with HTML5. Our solution, which obviously I'm plugging, is rapid, low cost. We produce bespoke courses. We have off-the-shelf courses. We have a membership service which includes free development. So however you want to work to move to HTML5, we have the solution for you. And I'm just going to pass you over to myself again.
Okay, so if there's one thing I'd like you to take away from this, is that HTML5 is not scary, but you should start addressing it today. Adopt a strategy that allows your e-learning to be as good, or if not better, than what it was before. Have a look at the tools out there, the bespoke development services, and off-the-shelf courses, and ask yourself the question, is my new HTML5 e-learning going to be better than my old? If you suspect you are taking a backward step, or even a sideways one, then I recommend you find another supplier.
So just before I end there, does anybody have any questions? Sir?
I'm very familiar with HTML.
Yeah.
If I look at HTML5, will it be familiar to me? Will I be able to quickly pick it up?
Okay, I was asked the question, the gentleman's very familiar with HTML. Would it be very quick to pick up HTML5? Unfortunately, I'm a designer, not a programmer. So I'm not the expert, but similar skills are used in both. One thing I haven't shown you actually is because you need an internet connection to do this, but what I will do is I'll just quickly show you the HTML5 version. So basically, what I showed you before was Flash. This is the HTML5 version. It's with a few little changes.
My name is Emil Reisser-Weston. I'm the Managing Director of E.
Same thing you saw before, but this is all written in native HTML5, converted from the Flash content. So it looks exactly the same, but it's in HTML5, not Flash. How much would it cost you to get started? HTML5, you just need a notepad. And you can start. Or you can use Jackdaw Cloud, which is free to use, and there's various costing models depending on how you want to publish those courses. No, I'm not. I was asked, well, am I a politician? No, I'm not a politician. Definitely not. So, what did you ask?
What will it cost to get started?
What will it cost you to get started? As I said, you can get a notepad and write HTML5 in that. Or Jackdaw you can use. It's £1,000. Yes. Yes, it's free to get started. I can deal with those more after the show if you like. Okay. Anyone? Sir, sorry. I was asked, is there a trial period with Jackdaw? Jackdaw, you can go to the website and you can use it free of charge. If you want to publish the courses, then you would need to pay for them. It's £1,000 for 2 courses every year, £2,000 for 5 courses, or unlimited number of courses for £10,000 a year. Yes.
Would it be able to translate my Flash courses into HTML5? Would I have to start from scratch?
I was asked, would it be able to translate his Flash courses into HTML5, or would he need to start from scratch? The short answer to that is no. It would have to be in R format, but you can take the elements of Flash and save them using Adobe Animate as HTML5, and then insert them via XML links. But I can show you how we would do that. I mean, essentially, our courses are transportable by press of a button, but to produce pure HTML5 from scratch, you would use the system in that other way. But we can talk about it later. Okay. Anyway, thank you very much for listening, and sorry about the delays we had at the start. Thank you so much. Cheers.